St. Mary's, and still do. We're going to go to St. Cyril's because your grandmother will be there, and then we go to breakfast on Sunday, and you have an opportunity to see some of the traditions of that they still practice.
Would you take them to the English Mass or the Slovenian Mass?
The English Mass, but the processions and the bells and the statuettes, and once again, St. Mary's is very muted. I don't know if you've been in St. Mary's recently, but I don't think they have a lot of statues, and most of the walls are painted kind of grayish. But yet you go to St. Stan's or St. Cyril's, and there's reds and golds, and you've got the images of St. Cyril's and Methodius right up there on the altar, you know. So
we were nativity, and there was always things to look at.
Right, exactly.
I don't have any more questions. Is there anything specifically you'd like to share, or anything that you'd like to preserve for posterity?
Well, of course, the language. You know, my daughter, interestingly enough, is a captain in the Army, and she was stationed in Germany, and is stationed in Germany, and so that's how I've had the opportunity to go to Germany, because I would visit her. So she took it upon herself to travel to Slovenia. Now, I've never been to Slovenia, but 2 times since she's been there, she's gone to Slovenia. Number one was to, there were mountain biking nationals in the mountains of Slovenia, and then, of course, skiing and snowboarding. And she, you know, would call me and she would say, "Oh, we're going to Slovenia to ski this weekend or this week." And then she would call back, and yeah, while I was in, while I was there skiing, I took the train down to Ljubljana, which is the capital. And then she related a story to me that when she went to get her ski package, the people who were running the ski chalet said, "Tomasek, oh, that's, do you know that's a Slovenian name?" And she said, "Yeah, I know that's Slovenian. I'm here to visit the motherland." And they gave her her ski package. I don't know if they discounted it or gave it to her for free, because she was a Slovenian returning to the motherland. And then she went down to Croatia on another visit. And same thing, they said, "Oh, Tomasek, did you know that that's Croatian?" And she'd go, "Croatian? No, that's Slovenian." And they would go, "No, no, 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 that's Croatian, you're Croatian." And so I said, "Well, you got 2 motherlands, you know." But, you know, I didn't realize it, but the Croats and the Slovenes, there was a lot of similarities. And I think they were, if I understand it right now, they were one of the 2 major ethnic groups that were behind the combination of the 2 cultures in the Yugoslavia. Right after, I think it was right after the First World War, Slovenia was Austrian. They fell under Austrian rule, and of course the Austrians lost the war with the Germans, and so I think almost right after, or maybe even right before the war ended, the First World War ended, the Slovenes and the Croats felt that they would need an organization to stand up for their needs, and so they were the ones that were behind the Confederation of Slovenia, Croatia, and of course Serbia, and that's where the First World War started. And they kind of felt that there was enough cultural common that they allowed them to be included in the Yugoslavian Confederation. Confederation. And of course, that has since disintegrated. So,
That's nice. She had an opportunity to go travel to those places and see.
yeah,
those
my
things.
daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still want to myself maybe go back, or to go to Slovenia. I'm trying to, lay out a itinerary where I might be able to. I think I would like to enter, most of the Slovenes that came out of Slovenia came out through Trieste. And so I often thought that maybe that's how I would enter Slovenia, rather than from the north, from the south, come in through Trieste, and then there has been some genealogical studies done on both sides, my mother's and my father's side, as to where their parents came from Slovenia, and maybe go back and see if. But we talked about the churches. The churches were if the churches didn't have a record of a birth, because most of those people were slaves, Slavs. They worked for lords and land barons, and there was no desire to keep track of who your parents were. If you were a slave, but the Catholic Church was taking in all cultures and all levels, and so there was the baptismal records, and so usually once the baptismal records stopped or didn't exist, a lot of people like myself can only trace their heritage back so far into the old country. It just gets lost in the masses.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. My family came over in 1670.